You ever wonder why some absolutely brilliant business ideas just soar? They change the world. While other ideas, just as brilliant, seem to fizzle out before they even get going. It's a huge puzzle, and one that definitely keeps leaders up at night.
Well, here's the thing. It's usually not the idea itself that's the problem. The real challenge, the hidden hurdle, is all in the execution. It's about navigating the human side of making a big strategic shift. 70%. Just let that sink in for a second. That is a massive number. What in the world could that possibly be referring to in business?
That's right. A staggering 7 out of 10 major corporate projects just don't hit their targets. And this isn't just a string of bad luck. It's a clear pattern. It points to a critical missing piece of the puzzle: effective change management. So, how do we fix this? Well, let's start by really understanding the problem.
In today's business world, change isn't some rare event we plan for once a decade. It's constant. From new tech popping up to sudden market shifts, adapting isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely essential for survival, let alone growth. So when we say change management, what are we actually talking about? Well, think of it as the game plan for guiding people through a major transition. It's the bridge that connects a great strategy on paper to a successful result in reality. And the key? It focuses entirely on the people side of that whole journey. And here's the good news. This isn't some kind of mystical, abstract art. There's actually a proven playbook for navigating these transitions. It's a structured process that can turn potential chaos into a clear, manageable path forward. At its heart, the whole thing breaks down into 4 really logical phases. First up, you plan. You've got to define the vision and be super honest about whether the organization is even ready for it. Then you communicate. And I'm not talking about one memo. I mean a constant, open conversation about the why. Next is implement, where you give people the actual training and support they need to make the switch. And finally, you reinforce. You measure the results and you build new systems to make sure the change actually sticks and becomes the new normal. See how each step builds on the last one?
Okay, so within that 4-phase playbook, what are the essential ingredients? What really makes it work? Well, it turns out there are about 6 key things that truly make all the difference. Think of these as the 6 non-negotiables for building that bridge to success. You gotta have strong leadership with a super clear vision. That has to be paired with open and ongoing communication. You absolutely need employee involvement to get real buy-in, and you have to back that up with great training. All of this needs a well-structured plan, but one that still has room for continuous improvement. Now, let's just zoom in on 2 of the most critical ones. It really does all start at the top. When your team sees the executives, the big bosses, actively championing a change, it sends a powerful message. It says, hey, this is a real priority, not just the flavor of the month. Honestly, that visible sponsorship is probably the single biggest predictor of whether a project is going to fly or fail. And right up there with leadership is communication. But this can't just be a one-way broadcast. By creating a real dialogue, you crush rumors, you reduce fear, you get rid of that uncertainty. It helps people feel like they're a part of the process, which is so different from feeling like change is just being done to them. And check this out, because this is where it gets really mind-blowing. Look at the dramatic difference this stuff makes. The data is crystal clear. Projects with excellent change management succeed almost 90% of the time. Meanwhile, those with poor management barely break 10%. That is a massive gap. It's the clearest business case you could ever hope to see. But this isn't just about stats and charts, right? These principles have written the real-world stories of some of the biggest companies out there, deciding who gets to thrive and who just disappears. I mean, just take one of the most famous business showdowns of the last couple of decades. Blockbuster saw the digital wave coming, but it just couldn't bring itself to change its core model. Netflix, on the other hand, they dove headfirst into that strategic change, completely reinventing themselves from DVDs by mail to a streaming giant. One company managed the change, the other was crushed by it. And, well, we all know how that story ended. This quote from Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella just nails it. When he took over, he didn't just tweak a few products.
He led a massive cultural transformation, a whole new way of thinking he called the growth mindset. It was this enormous change management effort, all focused on collaboration and learning, that completely revitalized the company and powered its incredible growth in new areas like cloud computing.
So, this all leads us to a final, really crucial idea. Getting good at change management isn't just about surviving one project. It's about building a permanent capability in your organization, like a change muscle that gets stronger every single time you use it.
And building that muscle? Oh, it pays off big time. 2.5x. What do you think that number represents? This is all about performance. Companies that become masters of change achieve 2.5 times more revenue growth than their peers who are stuck in their ways. So building that change muscle isn't just about having smoother projects, it literally drives financial success right to the bottom line. And I guess, ultimately, it all boils down to this one question. Is your organization proactively in the driver's seat, managing its own evolution? Or is it just a passenger, reacting to the forces changing the world around it? Because the difference between those two, that's the difference between leading the future and being left behind by it.